How's it going, guys? So I am going to I thought this would be really cool. So I got a message right here from someone, and I think this message has a few different questions in it about the wine industry and health and wellness, and I think it may apply to many people, and not just in the wine industry, but in just any line of work and in life in general. So instead of doing a response directly to this person, I'm going to make this video so that maybe their question can be answered, or at least I can give my 2 cents. And maybe if you have a similar question or you know somebody who does, then you can benefit from it as well. So I'll get right into this. There's a couple of different questions here, so I'm just going to kind of skip through some of this stuff, and of course the person will remain unidentified. So here the first question is, do you feel it's a challenge to maintain a healthy lifestyle in our industry, in the wine industry? As an athlete myself, having recently returned to a plant-based lifestyle, I wonder if it affects success level. Sounds silly, but it is in to be eating and drinking, and I definitely don't miss how it made me feel. Okay, so there's kind of the first question. And then the next question that comes out here is, sometimes I lose track and catch myself holding on to anger or failure. Just curious how you shift that. And just curious how you shift that if you ever have moments. Definitely have moments. So to answer the first question, and to kind of go back here, do you feel it's a challenge to maintain a healthy lifestyle in our industry? Absolutely it is. As an athlete, I wonder if it affects success level. Sounds silly, but it is in to be eating and drinking. So, of course it's a challenge. It's a challenge in today's world to do anything at a high vibration, to hold a high vibrational frequency, to take the higher road, which is where we get the whole higher road idea. Anytime you hear language when it's talking about highering or lowering, light or dark, it's alluding to truth, which is that light is information, darkness is lack of information, blindness, ignorance. High energy or high frequency is love, is truth, is not a fear-based way of being. A fear-based way of being is low density, low vibration, dark. So in today's world, and the way it has been for thousands of years, we've been in a sort of a low vibrational state. And people have been very caught up with me, I, ego, what can I get, not what can I give. Much of our actions and things that we do and way that we interact with people and treat people has been based ultimately out of fear. You can trace back most actions that are done, and essentially anything that is not good for yourself or the others around you or the world around you can be traced back to some sort of fear, a fear-based reaction or a fear-based point of view. So what's happening now is that frequency is sort of lifting, and we're going through a big change, and people can feel this change. And it's a bit unsettling because it's a change, and nobody likes change, period. And there's uncertainty involved, and it's bringing up a lot of fear. And also because it's shaking out a lot of these old paradigms and these old energies, you're seeing a lot of it in the air. Let's just use that analogy. And it seems like, oh my God, what's happening? Everything is coming to chaos here. But it's actually a process of deep cleaning that has been initiated on an energetic level. And it's also a wonderful opportunity. So to see through that fog, to see through that dust and debris from the initial sweeps of cleaning up the floor that hasn't been cleaned in a long time is crucial. So perspective and awareness is crucial. So going back to the question of, is it difficult? Yes, it is. But this is an opportunity. It's difficult in this world to do anything that is at a high vibrational frequency, to do anything that has to do with being based out of love and compassion and empathy, because those things are seen as weak traits in that fear-based paradigm. And just to be different, to be viewed as different, when you're coming from a place that is different and a frequency and vibration that is different and you're interacting in this world, you will feel like an outsider a little bit, and that can bring up a lot of bad feelings. And B, people are going to look at you and criticize you and not identify with you, and that can cause issues or what seems to be tension in your life, in your relationships, in work, and in everything in general. So this is a really important question that doesn't really have to do just with the wine industry. This just has to do with life in general. So I'm also in the wine industry. Now, all of my health and wellness transformation and accomplishments, if you will, have come pretty effortlessly, to be honest with you. I know it seems like a lot of hard work, and that's a real false paradigm. This whole hard work paradigm is a very false paradigm. If you're working hard and struggling for something, you're on the wrong path. Abundance comes effortlessly. And that's a tough one to swallow, and that's a separate video. So all of this health and wellness stuff, to be honest with you, is being very easy because it has come as a result of a change in frequency from the inside out. It has come as a result of me being the change that I want to see in the world, meaning emanating that frequency or being love, which is what I would like to see in the world, is more love, compassion, and empathy, which will ultimately bring about naturally all of the good things that we could possibly want for ourselves and, more importantly, for the world and for humankind to ascend, if you will. And so because of that change, the internal change, the external change happens. Now, I don't really drink much, and I love winemaking. I am a winemaker as a trade, and I really love winemaking. And I taste wines every day. I taste a lot of wines, but I spit. I do consume alcohol, but it's very rarely, to be honest. I don't need to consume alcohol, and it has nothing to do with my passion for wine and for crafting wine and for sensory analysis and for having an energetic resonance and relationship with the wine, and more importantly with the people that the wine is created by and consumed by. Connection, resonation, super important. And just like how being that higher frequency for me creates a lot of resistance when I move through life because of the contrast between density and vibration of high and low in the current paradigm that is shifting but is still set in the old way for the most part, I experience resistance. And so as I'm eating healthy, I have a lot of resistance from people, criticism. Hey, why don't you just cut a corner here? Hey, why don't you just go ahead and enjoy yourself? You know, you get that, you got to relax and enjoy yourself a little bit. Eat that cake. And I'm like, guys, I see that you don't understand because you're not in a place that I am, and that's understandable. So let me just tell you in all honesty, eating that cake doesn't really make me happy anymore. It used to, but it doesn't feel good anymore because it doesn't resonate with me. I'm not tuned to that frequency anymore. And I really get happy eating things that are great, that increase my vibration and support that higher vibration, because it allows me to bring into my life all of the things that I do want ultimately, truly, which is love, peace, growth, community, so on and so forth. And that's just the truth. And I'm not trying to criticize people, but I am going to be the change that I want to see. And so that's what I do. And when you're in the wine business and you're going to come across, I have to, everybody, it's in to eat and drink. Well, then create the new trend, which is it's in to have this higher vibrational frequency. Now, there's a difference between enjoying wine and drinking. There's nothing wrong. If you want to drink some alcohol, but not for the purpose of drinking alcohol, or for the purpose of deriving pleasure purely from consuming a toxic, something that's ultimately toxic. It is what it is, but can be healthy in small doses. Appreciate wine and see it from that higher vibration, which is Look at all the amazing things that wine, the processing of it, the fact that it's directly linked to the land and to the people that farm it, the fact that it gathers people together to enjoy it in happiness and love. Focus on those things, and what you're going to find is that you're going to actually consume less alcohol. You'll still enjoy drinking, but you're going to derive less pleasure from the consuming of alcohol because of that change in perspective. For me, I focus on the things that wine brings about that are of a high vibration. For the most part, that doesn't have to do actually with the consuming of alcohol. That high that you get, just like any other high, creates an opposite low. It's not sustainable, and that's not a positive thing to have in your life. That seesaw effect gets exhausting after a while. I feel great when I have a buzz, and then I don't feel great. There's a reciprocal. So what I'm interested in is feeling peace, contentment, feeling satisfaction, savoring the moment all the time, whether things are up or down, being able to hold that perspective and that vibration despite what is going on around me, which is really what I love to do and what I enjoy. So change that perspective, and you're going to find that you're going to meet resistance, but it's okay, because you're not trying to pull anybody in any direction. You're just doing things out of a new perspective and a new higher vibration. So it's taking a step back and gaining that awareness and asking yourself, where is this coming from? Is this coming from a place of love, or is this coming from a place of fear? Is this coming from a place of positive high vibration energy, or is this coming from a place ultimately of low vibration energy in disguise? And when people come against you, don't try to fight fire with fire. Fight fire with love. Just be accepting. Don't worry. People are going to judge you. I know it's tough. But be the change you want to see, you know? And so I do it, and it's actually really easy at this point. People may say, oh, what? You're not going to drink? And I just say, oh, no, thank you. And I keep a positive high vibration. I don't judge them for judging me. I don't get angry. I just do my thing because I'm doing it from a place of love, which is ultimately the place of power, true power. And this is a part of the big shift, and this big paradigm shift now. We're really understanding now that love, compassion, empathy, these type of things, these higher vibrational states and paradigms are true, are closer aligned to truth. And when you're closer in alignment to truth, things and abundance, what we would consider abundance, become effortless. And also the things that we think of when we think of creating abundance in our lives are going to change, some slightly and some drastically. And so those two things will happen. And as for the second part of the question, so let me just make sure I get it up here. Sometimes I lose track and catch myself just holding on to anger or failure. Just curious how you shift that. Well, that's a great question because a lot of people do. And like I've been saying, the key is to not judge anything. And when you recognize and you're aware of what's happening, and you just sounds like you just said you're aware of that sometimes, I find myself holding on. So when you find yourself there, be okay with it. Don't try to change it or shift anything, but be aware of it. Okay? The cool thing about awareness and taking a step back is that it separates us from the feeling and emotion and the thing that's going on. And it gives us this perspective that is a higher perspective. It allows our higher self, which already knows what to do and knows what is right and wrong. It is intuitive. It is innate. It allows our innate intelligence that's in the cells in our body, that is that link between the etheric world and the physical world. It is allowing us, that perspective is allowing us just a split second of time to get out of the mind and to start thinking from a much higher perspective. And what happens when you can just recognize and create awareness, you'll find it having less of a grip on you. And you'll find that you will just naturally be able to reset yourself and realize, this anger is here. I feel it. I know why. But it's not serving me in any way, because what the higher self really wants and is always seeking is what is truly good for you and for the world. It's never seeking anything that is not good for you or for the world, or for the universe for that matter. And so, allowing that to have a say, allowing that to have just a breath, allows that perspective to come in and will allow you to see what's going on, the anger that you're holding on to, the fear that you're acting out of. See it for what it is and have love and compassion for it and smile at it. And just be. It'll allow you to be the change you want to see. It'll allow you to be the state that you want to be in. And then guess what? You won't have to do anything because you'll be in that state. The mind and the ego wants to do things. This entire universe was created without anyone having to do or fight against anything. So what makes you think that you doing something is going to be able to create something, anything greater than what can happen when you align yourself with the flow of life and the flow of the universe and the flow of truth and the high vibration, which is love, which is the fabric that all that is manifest, all that is. When you align yourself with what is and the nature of the way things are, abundance is effortless. And what you think of when you think of as abundance will change and align with what actually is abundance, and you will feel that. And as you feel that, you will be that. And as you are, you will feel that and you will see that. And that's the feedback loop. So it's not about shifting anything. It's about creating awareness and space, even if it's for a moment, and allowing your higher self, which is always operating from that higher level, to have a view, to have a peek at the situation. And when it does, you're already where you want to be. There's no shift necessary. It's just awareness that you need to create. It's that just momentary separation. And it sounds like you're doing that. So now you know. This video is a little longer than normal, but thank you for sticking with me. I hope it has helped. I hope it's been beneficial. Love you all. Cheers.